What up, y'all? So today, man, I got a product that I want to show you guys from Dreame, which y'all already know, man. They are family on this channel, as I've showcased other products of theirs here. But today, man, we're going to focus and take a look at the Dreame H12 Pro FlexReach. But instead of just kind of looking at it by itself and alone, we're actually going to spice things up a little bit, man. I want to actually put it up against the Tineco S5 and giving it a little competition. You know what I mean? All right. Now, you guys already know, man, I've been a huge fan of robotic cleaning products, but this style of a handheld vacuum and mop combo, or I guess a wet dry combo, I've been wanting to, man, get my hands on this for a while, and I'm just finally excited to be able to use this now, as I've been using it for over a few weeks. But when you guys compare the parts that you guys get out of the H12 Pro FlexReach versus the Tineco S5, I do feel like it's somewhat about the same, with some minor things that the H12 Pro FlexReach has over the Tineco S5. But let's go ahead and get into these features, because I do feel like this is where it gets interesting. Now, the first feature that I feel like is going to be probably the most important feature, and that has to deal with the vacuuming side of things, because I feel like if it has to struggle to be able to pick something up, then you already know it's not going to be a good one, all right? Now, I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about the cleaning power of both of these, but mainly the H12 Pro FlexReach, because let's be honest, this is the reason why you would even want to even consider picking one of these products. Now, when it comes to the H12 Pro FlexReach, it does offer a powerful 18,000 PA suction power to be able to clean up various things that just somehow finds its way to your floor, whether you needing it for wet cases or whether you needing it for dry cases. Or let's say you somebody out there, you was eating some cereal one day, you spilled some milk, or you was eating a hamburger and you spilled some ketchup on the floor or some mustard, which, by the way, side note, y'all, I hate mustard. Like, I just feel like mustard is the worst thing ever created. But anyway, let's move on. Some cereal or whatever else, all right? Basically, what I'm saying is it can virtually pick up anything. Like, no mess, y'all, is too tough for this thing. And trust me, y'all, when I say this, I tried so many things. Like, I'm telling y'all, I threw everything at the H12 Pro FlexReach, including the kitchen sink, and I'm telling y'all, man, it picked everything up with ease. And what I love most about it was the fact that it left no residue behind. Now, another thing while I was using it, one thing that I did like about the H12 Pro FlexReach has this feature where it allows you to be able to lay this bad boy down to 180 degrees, lying it completely flat, to allow it to clean in those hard to reach places as low as 14 centimeters and 9.6 centimeters for its brush head. Like, y'all, if there's a chair or furniture in your home, like you guys can see right here, it can easily clean under it, man, which to me is clutch. And it also includes an omnidirectional wheel on the back that I personally thought was actually a dope and a nice touch, because it helps keep the back surface scratch free when it comes to your floors. Because listen, I just upgraded our floors here in our house here last year, and I spent a nice penny on these bad boys, and I'm not trying to have nothing scratch up my floor. So to me, having this little omnidirectional wheel on the back is clutch. Now, another feature when it comes to cleaning using the H12 Pro FlexReach is that it offers the smart mode, where with the press of a button, you can actually cycle through the different modes, and it will detect the mess that you have and change the water and suction output based on the mess that it detects. So that way you don't have to worry about picking the right settings that you need in order for it to be able to clean. And this is good, because most of the time, people like myself or you guys out there might just want to pick up the vacuum or wet dry mop combo, and you just want to clean without having to worry about the proper settings or anything like that. But instead, the H12 Pro FlexReach will handle all of that for you, just making everything seamless. And let me tell you, man, it worked flawlessly, y'all. You will hear the suction power as well as the brush speed increase whenever it detects something that it needs to be able to pick up that it might require. But let's say you're somebody out there, you're like, well, CKid, I'm kind of a control freak. Then you can easily still switch to the other modes with the press of a button to be able to match the need based on whatever you guys need to pick up off the floor. And then the other thing is when it comes to the cleaning brush on the H12 Pro FlexReach, it also offers cleaning the brush while it's cleaning the floors at the same time with actual fresh water, man. So that way you don't have to worry about reusing dirty water throughout your home and just spreading it and smearing it all over your floors. This is going to ensure that, man, you always are using a clean brush whenever you guys are cleaning your home, like you can see right here. And the H12 Pro FlexReach has a fast RPM of 480 versus the Tineco S5, which is slightly lower at 450 RPM on the brush spin. Now, you guys out there may look at that and be like, well, CKid, that's not really a lot, but I'm telling y'all, man, if you're able to get the faster speeds, I'm going to be going with the higher RPM every single time, y'all. And I feel like the H12 Pro FlexReach, the fact that it can spin per minute at 480 times, which to me is top tier. Now let's go ahead and move on over to the Tineco S5 and kind of talk about a lot of these same things. Now, to me, I felt like the S5 also included a powerful suction power as well for being able to clean spills and just other objects off of the floor, and I feel like it did it pretty well. Now, with the S5, it does also rinse with clean water as well, so that way you can also make sure you're not smearing and you're getting a clean roller every single time that it is touching your floor. Now, it also includes a scraper to be able to scrape off any wastewater and refill with more clean water for your next use. So although I feel like they both are good, I still would somewhat have to give the edge to the H12 Pro FlexReach because of that faster RPM. I just found that it tends to pick up things slightly better and makes less of a chance that you will have to continue again going over that same spot to clean it a few more times than the H12 Pro FlexReach. Now I know you guys are probably watching this video and be like, yo, CKid, that's all fine and dandy and that's all cool and all, but does the H12 Pro FlexReach or the Tineco S5 have anything that can handle pet hair, that can handle human hair from all being tangled up within the brush or the roller? And the answer to your question, guys, is yes, but only the H12 Pro FlexReach, and it is called the Tangle Cut Resilient Scraper, which is a feature on the H12 Pro FlexReach that has a sharp cone tooth blade that can sever dog hair or cat fur and even some human long hair, man, when it comes to preventing the brush from clogging and ultimately, y'all, saving all of us time from manually having to flip this thing over and just detangle everything underneath. And to me, y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is so clutch, man. Whereas I've learned with the Tineco S5, although I did try to use it to pick up hair and I felt like it did okay for the most part, but this is a feature that is not available here on the Tineco S5, which I have to give a major advantage, man, to the H12 Pro FlexReach on this one, because I feel like it is perfect for someone like me who's a pet owner or somebody who lives in a house where hair just mysteriously just finds itself on the floors. All right, now the next thing I want to talk about is the Deep Clean Master for effortless self-cleaning of the H12 Pro FlexReach versus the Tineco S5 once you guys are all done and cleaning and taking it back to the base docking station. Now, total transparency, y'all, they both do offer a self-cleaning mode when it's in its docking station along with charging, but when it comes to the H12 Pro FlexReach, it has a heater on the base that heats up to 85 degrees Celsius or 185 degrees Fahrenheit if you guys need it to be able to dry it within 30 minutes, or it can heat up to 90 degrees Celsius or 194 degrees Fahrenheit for those conversion people out there. If you guys wanted to be able to do a fast dry, it can do that in 5 minutes with a super speed drying feature. And then on top of that, it's also blowing wind, which is going to allow the brush to be able to dry while rotating to be able to remove grime, dust, dirt, and all of that from the brush for no more manual scrubbing. Y'all, I'm telling you, it is just effortless cleaning at the touch of a button. Now, as you guys can see, I wiped it here with a white paper towel and nothing, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, it came out just clean as a whistle, baby. Now, however, man, when it came to the Tineco S5, it will automatically detect if it needs to deep clean once you guys dock it, and it will go ahead and perform that deep clean on its own, which to me, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I felt like was a nice feature as well. However, the Tineco S5 does not have a drying option for the brush roller, and to me, man, this was a negative. But overall, both do offer a deep cleaning feature at the base station when it's docked for charging, but I feel like whichever one you decide to go with, it's just going to depend on your preference, based on if you like one to be able to have a drying feature or if you prefer to have one where it basically is just going to air dry. And the last thing I want to talk about, y'all, comes down to the battery life. The H12 Pro FlexReach, y'all, is a clear winner to me in this category with the max runtime of wet and dry cleaning of 50 minutes, which is close to 1 full hour of cleaning on a single charge before needing to recharge. Whereas the Tineco S5 can only last up to 35 minutes, which was, to be honest with y'all, was a bit disappointing because when you're trying to clean an entire home or just the first level of your home, I need a little bit more than 35 minutes, all right? But both options, the Dreame H12 Pro FlexReach or the Tineco S5, full charge time is 4 hours each to be able to get you guys back and running at 100%. Overall, man, I do feel like they both are good in its own right, but one of the things that I did notice was with the build quality of the Tineco S5 versus the Dreame H12 Pro FlexReach. The Tineco S5 base is made up of all plastic, y'all, and it's kind of, especially the base, it's kind of of like a cheap plastic. And from just an overall build perspective, it's just not on par with what the Dreame H12 Pro FlexReach offers, which is just a much better quality from the water tank to the disposal tank, and just even the overall base, which is just much higher quality. And I feel like it's gonna last much longer and give you longevity for the money that you guys are spending. And with the suction power, it's just stronger, which will allow you guys to be able to clean much faster. But that's about it, man. When it comes to the Dreame H12 Pro FlexReach versus the Tineco S5, I do feel like overall the H12 Pro FlexReach seems to offer more features than the Tineco S5. Now, if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Again, thanks to Dreame for sponsoring today's video. See you guys in the next one. Squad, we out.